Hi friends! Now today's video is about the Atari 2600 version of a Sega arcade game known as Star Trek Strategic Operations Simulator. Now the arcade game is a straight up action game, and it was created during the height of the Vector era when games like Asteroids and Tempest and Star Wars were really popular. Here's some quick footage of the original game for comparison.
Entering Sector 2.2.
Now, the 2600 version tries hard to replicate that original arcade game, and you'll see that it's almost up to the task of doing it. So, let's go ahead and check it out. In the game, which would have been released right about before Wrath of Khan, you play as the real Captain Kirk. No, not Kirk Jr., who flies the Enterprise from sector to sector, defending star bases from Klingons and anti-matter saucers and Nomad. Now, this is nothing like previous Star Trek computer games. Those were slow and methodical. If you're interested in a more classic computer version of Star Trek, check out Stellar Track. That's a pretty fun game, too. Now, the graphics are kind of minimal, as you might expect from a 2600 game, but honestly, the arcade version of this game didn't have a whole lot of graphics either. The controls are pretty easy to master. I mean, you press the joystick left and right to move left and right. You push up to use the impulse power to move forward. Press the fire button to fire phasers, but you know, they kind of look like lasers to me. And you would press down to fire a photon torpedo, which would destroy multiple enemies. Now, unfortunately, unlike the arcade, you can't actually see the torpedo or the damage that it does. There's also the warp, which makes you move faster. It's kind of tricky to do, as you have to press the down and the button at the same time. I hardly ever use that. On the left-hand side, you can see your shield level, your photon torpedoes, and your warp drive level. It's kind of minimalistic on the 2600, but what are you going to do? At the bottom, you would see your shield level. At the very bottom, that would be the orange, yellow, light red, and dark red. Not in that order. Now, it's pretty cool how they give you two different views at the same time. You can see the sector at the top of the screen and a first-person view at the bottom. This kind of reminds me of Gauntlet 3 on the Atari Lynx, how you can kind of see the monster that's coming at you. Now, between this and the ColecoVision version, which has better graphics, of course, I like this one better. It plays faster and smoother. The Coleco version seems kind of choppy, and there's no... I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. It feels less fun for some reason. So if you like Star Trek, and who doesn't, I mean, it's the greatest science fiction show of all time, unless you're going to tell me Doctor Who is, or Babylon 5, or Sliders, or some other show. I'm trying to think of some other science fiction shows. Really. I guess I'm really stuck on Star Trek. Anyway, if you like Star Trek, you'll like this game. It's fun, it's fast, it's exciting. It's everything that the first movie isn't. But you know, I like the first movie. Motion picture, I love the movie, honestly. I would say just make sure that when you fire everything, you don't end up in a red matter black hole where Starfleet is so screwed up that they give the flagship to a cocky and incompetent 25-year-old just 2 days after graduating. Hey, if you like this video, you can encourage me to do more by subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.